Success Starts With You. How to Become Your Best Self full audiobook. Published by MindCast Audiobooks. In this audiobook, you'll discover that real success doesn't happen by accident. It starts with you, your mindset, your daily habits, your willingness to grow. You'll be guided to take full responsibility for your life, build the resilience and self-discipline required for true progress, overcome self-doubt and fear of failure. Chapter 1. Take ownership and change how you live today. Your life won't change until you do something about it. That's the mindset most people never adopt. They wait. They blame. They delay. But real change starts with one simple truth. Success starts with you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about deciding that you're done wasting your potential, done giving energy to excuses, and done living the same day over and over. If you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of talking about goals that never happen, it's time to look in the mirror. Your progress, your results, your growth, all of it begins the moment you take full responsibility for how you live. Take ownership of your life. Not your boss's life, not your parents', not anyone else's. Yours. The first step isn't waiting for the world to change. It's looking at yourself. Until you admit that your choices have shaped your life, you can't move forward. Most people skip this step. They wait for circumstances to improve before taking action. But change doesn't come from outside. It comes from inside. You have to decide right now that you're responsible for everything. Good and bad, success and failure. It takes strength to admit where you've fallen short. It takes humility to accept that you haven't always given your best. But if you want different results, you must start living differently. Every day you delay taking ownership is another day of delay in progress. Many spend years blaming time, money, other people, or the past. It feels good for a moment, but comfort is the enemy of growth. Waiting for someone or something to fix your life keeps you trapped. Here's the truth. If your decisions created your current situation, your decisions can also create a better one. That's power. That's control. You don't need a perfect moment to start. You can begin today. Clean your schedule. Improve your health. Fix your finances. Start small, but start. Ready doesn't come first. Confidence comes after action. Clarity comes when you move. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop hoping for a perfect mood. Real progress starts with discipline, and discipline begins with a choice. Ask yourself, how am I really living? Not what you tell others, not what you tell yourself, but the truth. Are your habits serving you? Are you bringing energy to your work, your home, your relationships? If the answer isn't what you want, don't run from it. Face it. Ownership isn't about guilt or punishment. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about deciding, from now on, I lead my life. When you take responsibility, you stop hiding behind excuses. You stop blaming the past, and you stop pretending you don't know what to do. You already know. You've just been avoiding it. Start small. Change one habit. Wake up earlier. Turn off distractions. Make a rule and stick to it. Track your progress. Reward yourself. Hold yourself to higher standards. Over time, small actions create a new identity. You begin to respect yourself. You make better choices. You follow through. You stop settling. The real reward of ownership isn't just results, it's who you become. Someone who finishes what they start. Someone who leads their own life. Someone who doesn't wait for permission. Your life doesn't change when things around you change. It changes when you decide to lead it. Stop reacting. Start building. Stop wishing. Start doing. Success starts with you, Not as a slogan, but as a fact. Act on it. Live it. Make today the day you stop letting life happen and start creating the life you want. Chapter 2. Stand up and do what needs to be done. Most people already know what they need to do. They've known for weeks, months, maybe years. The problem isn't knowing, it's doing. There's a gap between intentions and actions, and that gap is where most people stay stuck. Nobody is going to push you. Nobody is going to wake you up early. Nobody will force you to take your life seriously. That's your job. If you want to become your best self, you have to start with the things you've been avoiding. Thinking about it isn't enough. Talking about it isn't enough. Planning isn't enough. You have to stand up and do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Real growth begins when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, and hard. That's when you choose to rise anyway. It's not about being perfect. It's about being responsible. You know the areas of your life that need work. You know the habits dragging you down. You know the work you've been avoiding. You don't need another reminder. You need to take control and act. Improvement doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. And that choice has to be made every day. Not just when you feel inspired. Not just when you're ready every day. That's what separates the people who change from the people who stay the same. It's consistent, deliberate, uncomfortable action. Don't wait for confidence. Confidence comes after action. Don't wait for permission. Start before anyone supports you. Don't wait for the right time. Life doesn't pause for you. The real test isn't saying you want to improve. It's showing up, tired or not, busy or not, scared or not. Life rewards what you finish, not what you say. Start with small actions. Clean your space. Fix your routines. Cut distractions. Do the work even when it's slow, messy, or uncomfortable. Momentum builds step by step. Movement matters more than motivation. Decide what matters most. Protect your time. Guard your energy. Make your goals non-negotiable. Sacrifice what doesn't serve your future. Keep your promises to yourself. Do the work even when no one notices. That's how character is built. That's how strength is built. That's how a life worth living is built. The people who succeed aren't lucky. They don't always have more time or more talent. They act anyway because they know the cost of staying the same is greater than the pain of growth. Take ownership. Fix what's broken. Remove what drains you. Get back on track. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Start again stronger. Stop overthinking. Stop blaming. Stop waiting. Action moves you forward. When you take control and act, things change. You think more clearly. You feel stronger. You see results. Progress becomes addictive. You stop needing anyone else to push you. You start pushing yourself. Become the person who doesn't wait to be told, who doesn't depend on external pressure, who rises every day and does what needs to be done. That is power. That is maturity. That is growth. Face what needs to be done. Stand up. Handle your responsibilities. Fix what's broken. Build what's missing. You already know what it takes. Now go do it. That's how average lives become excellent. That's how real success begins. Chapter 3. Clean up your habits before they control you. If your life feels off track, it's usually not because of one big mistake. It's the small choices you make every day, the ones you barely notice, that add up over time. Your habits shape your life, whether you realize it or not. If you're not careful, they can quietly take over and decide your future for you. That's why cleaning up your habits isn't optional, it's essential. Every routine you follow, even the tiny ones, either builds your future or steals it from you. Most people don't see it. They wake up, grab their phone, scroll mindlessly, avoid difficult choices, and tell themselves they'll do better tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month, and slowly life begins to feel out of control. It's not that the world is unfair, it's that your habits are running the show. And habits are built on convenience, not intention. You can't reach your goals if your daily behavior doesn't match your vision. Discipline starts with honesty, seeing what you're really doing when no one is watching. Some routines you've normalized aren't helping you. They're holding you back quietly. Look at the first hour of your day. If it's chaotic, distracted, or lazy, don't be surprised when the rest of your day follows that same pattern. You need structure. You need routines that pull you forward, not drag you down. And you can't wait for life to get easier. Strong habits are built in the middle of your everyday chaos. Start by taking inventory of your life. Not what you think you're doing, but what you actually do. What time do you wake up? How do you spend the first and last parts of your day? What are you eating, watching, saying yes to when you should say no? No emotion, no guilt, just the truth. Until you see it, you can't change it. Habits don't care about how you feel. They're automatic. That's why bad habits are so easy to fall into. They give instant relief, but cost you progress. And the longer you let them continue, the harder they are to break. Don't wait until you hit bottom. Decide that how you're living now isn't good enough. Raise your standards and act immediately. Replace habits that waste time with ones that build you up. Don't try to change everything at once. Start with one and then another. Wake up earlier. Make your bed. Drink water. Read. Move your body. Track your progress. Reduce distractions. Keep your space clean. These may sound simple, but they are not easy. Real growth is quiet and boring. It happens when you do the right thing, even when no one is watching. Your old habits will fight you. Your mind will make excuses. Your body will crave comfort. But you have to be stronger. Every habit you keep either builds your best self or reinforces your weaker self. You can't have both. You have to choose. Motivation comes and goes. Structure doesn't. Design your day to support the person you want to become. Remove distractions. Prepare for workouts in advance. Put your goals somewhere you can see them. Small, practical changes matter more than fancy strategies. Stop saying, "This is just who I am." That's a story, not a fact. Identities can be rewritten. Habits can be reshaped. Life can be rebuilt. But not on autopilot. Not by choosing comfort. You already have what it takes. You've just been too distracted to notice. Every small good habit is a step of self-respect. Every bad habit you break is a step toward freedom. Your future is built one decision, one morning, one action at a time. Most people want shortcuts, but the winners work in silence, consistently, even when it's boring. They follow through every day. That's the difference between success and stagnation. Control your habits, or they will control you. Once they do, they decide your life. Don't let that happen. Take your power back. Choose discipline, structure, and action. Your life starts here with the habits you commit to today. Chapter 4. Choose growth. Even when comfort feels easier. Most people never grow because comfort is too tempting. Comfort is familiar. Comfort is safe. Comfort feels good in the moment. It cushions you from the pressures of life, the hard choices, and the work that challenges you. It whispers, "You've done enough for today. Take it easy. Wait until the moment feels right." And in that voice, there is a subtle trap. The illusion of safety that quietly keeps you small. The truth is, comfort doesn't build strength. Comfort doesn't produce progress. Comfort doesn't shape your best self. If you want to grow, if you want to reach your potential, you must choose growth, even when it feels hard, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it would be easier to stay in the warmth of ease. Every day presents the same fundamental choice: stay where it's easy or push yourself toward improvement. The path of least resistance is always tempting. It calls to you softly, persuasively, almost sweetly. Just relax. Tomorrow's fine. Later will do. But every time you surrender to that temptation, you delay your own growth. You stay stuck in patterns that bring short-term relief, but long-term regret. Growth is never meant to feel easy. It's inconvenient. It's uncomfortable. It asks more than you think you can give. It stretches your limits, challenges your perceptions, and forces you to confront your weaknesses. If you always take the easy way, you will never change. You will repeat the same habits, the same thoughts, and the same mistakes, all the while wondering why life isn't different. The reality is simple. Life doesn't change unless you do. No outside factor will magically make you stronger, smarter, or more capable. Time will pass regardless of whether you push yourself or not. Opportunities won't wait. The world doesn't slow down for those who hesitate. Growth requires a willingness to choose progress over comfort, action over delay, challenge over ease. Comfort whispers to your feelings. Growth listens to your choices. Those who consistently grow don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for motivation, inspiration, or ideal conditions. They act despite discomfort. They show up when it's hard. They keep going when it's boring. They remain committed when excitement fades. They understand that a better life doesn't happen by accident. It comes from deliberate decisions, repeated consistently, that go against what feels easy. Choosing growth might require waking up early when your body wants to sleep longer. That moment of discomfort, the initial grogginess, is where discipline begins. The first hour you steal from sleep, you invest in your future. That time becomes your advantage, your foundation for the day, and a signal to your mind and body that you are capable of doing what others avoid. Speaking up when staying quiet feels safe. Growth often requires confrontation, not with others necessarily, but with yourself and your circumstances. It demands honesty, courage, and the willingness to risk temporary discomfort for long-term gain. Saying what needs to be said, even when fear wants to keep you silent, is an exercise in building personal power. Pushing yourself when you would rather slow down. Every time you resist the urge to stop, to quit, or to settle, you expand your limits. Growth is forged in these moments of resistance. Progress happens when you put pressure on your comfort zone, when you choose challenge over ease, when you take action, when every fiber of your body says to stay still. Comfort feels good now, but it steals your future. It lulls you into a false sense of security while silently eroding your potential. Every hour spent in comfort is an hour that could have been used to improve, to learn, to build, to grow. The longer you live in comfort, the harder it becomes to step out. It becomes familiar. It becomes habit. And when comfort becomes a habit, growth feels unnatural, almost impossible. You need to make growth a habit. You need to make it a standard. Growth should be your default, not your exception. Choose actions that challenge you every day. Stop soothing yourself. Stop seeking temporary relief from hard work or difficult choices. Push yourself to learn, to move, to stretch. Growth strengthens your mind. It sharpens your focus. It develops skills you never knew you had. It wakes you up. It makes you better. Avoiding growth keeps life predictable, but empty. Predictability feels safe, but it comes at a cost. It creates frustration, stagnation, and regret. Regret is heavier than failure because it comes from knowing you didn't give your all. Regret lingers. It whispers that you could have done more, been more, achieved more. But you chose comfort instead. Failure is temporary. Regret lasts a lifetime. Choosing growth is your way to avoid that weight. It is your way to live with pride, integrity, and self-respect. Choosing growth requires saying no to wasted energy. It means doing the work even when there's no immediate reward. It means being honest with yourself. Are you truly pushing yourself, or are you simply going through the motions? Comfort creates illusions of progress. It allows you to convince yourself that you are doing enough while, in reality, you are stagnating. To grow, you must see through that illusion. You must recognize when you are being complacent and decide to act anyway. You already know what needs to change. Deep down, you know the actions that will make a difference. But comfort has made it easy to delay, to rationalize, to procrastinate. You tell yourself later, tomorrow, someday. But if you are not growing, you are shrinking. Time does not wait. Life moves forward whether you choose to move or not. If you don't move with it, you get left behind. The world does not pause for hesitation. Start small. Growth doesn't have to be dramatic. It starts with one step, one choice, one area of focus. Push yourself a little further than yesterday. Add a small increment of effort to your routine. Commit to consistent action. Some days will be easy, others will be hard. Some days you'll want the comfort of old habits, the ease of shortcuts, the temporary relief of doing less. Resist it. The discomfort you feel in the moment is temporary, but the results of consistent growth are permanent. Growth is a short-term struggle with long-term rewards. It is the tension between who you are and who you want to become. Some days will feel grueling. You will question why you bother. You will feel the urge to quit. But those are the moments that matter most. The pressure you feel, the resistance you encounter, is proof that you are moving beyond your current limits. Every time you endure, every time you persist, you expand what is possible for yourself. Growth makes you feel alive. It builds self-respect and confidence. It opens doors you didn't know existed. It reveals new possibilities. It shows you how strong you truly are. And the more you choose growth, the more it becomes your default. You stop looking for ways out. You start looking for ways through. Every challenge becomes an opportunity. Every discomfort becomes a signal that you are on the right path. If you want a life you are proud of, you must stop choosing comfort. Stop waiting for ease. Stop delaying decisions because you are seeking temporary relief. Rise, level up, show up every day, no matter what. Behind the hard choices, behind the discomfort, is your best self waiting for you. The person you are capable of becoming is on the other side of that resistance, that struggle, that effort. Don't let today be another day you settle for less. Decide now. Growth is not a single event. It is a daily choice. It is a series of decisions repeated consistently that shape the trajectory of your life. Your life will not change in a single moment. It changes through hundreds of small, deliberate choices, each one moving you closer to your potential. Every time you push yourself, you reinforce your ability to choose what matters over what is easy. Every time you persist, you strengthen your self-discipline and your resilience. The hard road leads somewhere. The easy road brings you back to where you started. Complacency keeps you stuck in patterns that do not serve you. It keeps you from reaching your full potential. Growth requires discomfort. Growth requires sacrifice. Growth requires discipline. And yet the rewards are worth every ounce of effort. The satisfaction, confidence, and capability you gain from consistently choosing growth will outweigh any temporary pleasure comfort could provide. Your time is now, not tomorrow, not someday. Opportunities won't wait. Your potential won't wait. Your life won't wait. Every day you choose comfort over growth is a day you cannot get back. Every decision to settle is a decision to leave your future self with regret. The longer you postpone growth, the steeper the climb becomes. The sooner you start, the stronger, more capable, and more confident you will become. Choose growth. Live it. Become it. Make it a habit, not an occasional effort. Push yourself when you want to stop. Speak up when silence feels easier. Wake up when your body wants to sleep. Move when it's tempting to rest. Stretch when stagnation feels safe. Every act of effort, every decision to prioritize progress over comfort, compounds into a life that reflects your potential. Growth is not always glamorous. It is often quiet, unseen, and uncomfortable, but it is transformative. Every challenge you face, every boundary you cross, every moment you resist the lure of comfort strengthens you. Your character is built in these moments. Your resilience is forged here. Your future self is shaped by the actions you take today. So ask yourself, will you continue to let comfort dictate your life? Or will you choose growth even when it is hard? Will you wait for the perfect moment, or will you act now? Will you cling to temporary relief, or will you endure short-term discomfort for long-term gain? The choice is yours. Every day, every hour, every decision. Growth is a path that requires courage, consistency, and persistence. Comfort is a path that offers safety at the cost of your potential. Choose wisely. Growth is not a one-time event. It is a habit, a standard, a commitment. Decide today that you will prioritize progress over ease. Decide that you will move forward even when it feels uncomfortable. Decide that you will show up for yourself consistently, no matter what. Your life will reflect the choices you make. Make the hard choices. Step beyond comfort. Persist. Push. Persist again. The hard road leads somewhere. The easy road brings you back to where you started. Your time is now, not tomorrow, not someday. Choose growth. Live it. Become it. And in doing so, discover the strength, resilience, and potential that has always been inside you. Chapter 5. Hold yourself accountable when no one else does. The real test of your growth isn't how you perform when people are watching. It's what you do when you're alone. No applause, no recognition, no one checking if you followed through. That's when your habits, your mindset, and your character truly show themselves. Anyone can act strong in front of others. Anyone can say the right words when people are watching. But the moment you're alone, the pressure is gone. That's where the truth appears. That's where accountability matters most. If you don't hold yourself to a high standard in those quiet moments, you'll never become the person you want to be. Growth isn't waiting for someone else to push you. It's not hoping someone will fix your habits. Progress is your job. Your standards are your responsibility. To truly change, you have to prove it in silence. Every time you promise yourself you'll follow through, keep that promise. Don't wait for deadlines, applause, or external pressure. That's where real transformation happens. Accountability isn't about being perfect. It's about honesty. Ask yourself, did I do what I said I would? Did I give my full effort? Did I follow through even when it was hard? When you answer these questions truthfully, something shifts inside. Excuses lose power. Pretending stops. You start becoming the kind of person who lives with discipline. You don't need a boss to tell you to show up. You don't need a friend to remind you to stay consistent. You don't need a coach hovering over you every day. You need to become someone who leads yourself, someone who owns their time, their choices, their energy. People who rely on external pressure stay stuck. They work hard only when someone is watching. They show up only when it's urgent. But when they're alone, they slide, delay, and break their own rules. That's why they don't trust themselves, and why confidence stays low. If you want true strength, start keeping your word to yourself, not for recognition, not for praise, but because you've chosen to live with discipline. Track your actions. Notice when you fall short. Be honest. Where are you cutting corners? Where are you slacking? Where are you breaking your own promises? The standard you keep when no one is watching is the standard that shapes your life. Raise it. Don't compromise for comfort. Push yourself to stay aligned with your goals even when tired, even when it takes longer than expected. That's how confidence is built. That's how self-respect grows. And when you respect yourself, everything else becomes easier. Most people spend their lives waiting to be led, waiting for direction. That keeps them passive, stuck. To truly lead your life, you must act without being told. Wake up and decide, this is what needs to be done, and I'm doing it. You won't always feel like it. You won't always feel proud. But progress is more important than perfection. Accountability begins in the small details. Showing up when you said you would, finishing what you start, turning off distractions, saying no to the easy path. These small actions add up, quietly creating a version of you that is sharp, reliable, and self-driven. You don't need to announce your progress. You just need to do it, quietly and consistently. Your results will speak for themselves. Over time, you'll feel more in control, more grounded, more certain. You've built discipline that no one can take away. The most powerful growth happens in the quiet moments, the moments when giving in is tempting, when you could take the easy way out, when you choose long-term reward over short-term comfort. That's where your future self is shaped. If you want a life you're proud of, base your actions not on feelings, but on who you've decided to become. The more you follow through, the stronger you become. The more trust you build with yourself, the less you need external pressure. The truth, if you can't hold yourself accountable, no advice, program, mentor, or motivation will change your life. You are the foundation. Your actions decide the direction. Your habits set the pace. Your choices determine the results. It's all on you. And that's not a burden, it's power. Start today. Keep your promises. Own your mistakes. Correct your behavior. Stay consistent. Even when it's quiet, even when it's hard. The person you become in the dark is the person who shines brightest in the light. That is the strength that lasts. That is the discipline that separates those who succeed. That is what real success is built on. Chapter 6. Act like the person you want to become. You don't become your best self by waiting. You become it by acting like that person now. Most people imagine a stronger, more disciplined version of themselves, but they never start living as that version. They say, someday, instead of today. Someday never comes unless you begin acting now. Acting like your future self doesn't mean faking it. It means aligning your actions with your intentions. If you want to grow, you must behave like the person you aim to be. Not sometimes, not when it's easy, but every single day, especially when it's hard. You know who that person is, the one who follows through, keeps their word, doesn't cut corners. But if your daily behavior still looks like the old version of you, delaying, avoiding, making excuses, nothing changes. You can't think your way into a new identity. You have to act it out. That means making decisions before you feel ready, showing up before you feel prepared, carrying yourself with the respect and discipline that version of you would demand. Start with small things. How you carry yourself, how you speak, how you handle pressure. Practice the behaviors of the person you admire today. Don't wait to feel qualified. Qualification comes from consistency. The gap between who you are and who you want to be closes through action, showing up differently, speaking differently, choosing differently. Every moment is an opportunity to strengthen either the version that stays stuck or the version that rises. There's no neutral ground. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today? Then prove it through your choices. How you respond to stress, how you manage your time, how you treat your responsibilities. This isn't pretending, it's alignment. You say you want to be better, then live it. Dress like it, speak like it, think like it, move like it. Transformation doesn't happen in big moments. It happens in the small, repeated actions. The 10-minute decisions, the daily routines, the ways you handle stress. These invisible actions build identity inside you. That's where real change lives. You won't feel motivated every day. That's normal. Growth isn't about feelings, it's about direction. Stop asking if you feel ready and start asking, what needs to be done? The future version of you doesn't check for motivation, they check for discipline. The longer you delay acting like that future version, the longer you delay becoming them. No one else will do this for you. You must take the wheel. You must wake up and decide, today, I will act like the person I want to be. Even tired, even unsure, especially then. Showing up consistently builds belief. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. Your energy shifts. Your words carry weight. Your decisions become sharper. Your life begins to reflect your vision. Others notice not because you tell them, but because you become it. Your future self isn't found, it's created. One habit, one mindset shift, one difficult choice at a time. Books, videos, mentors, they're only theory until you act. Real growth happens when you live it out. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the willingness to say, I'm not there yet, but I will live like I am. Step into rooms with confidence. Speak clearly even when your voice shakes. Make choices that stretch you. That's what your future self would do. You're not stuck. You're not too late. You're not behind. One committed decision can shift everything. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start measuring your days by how aligned your actions are with the person you want to become. Did you move like someone growing? Speak like someone serious about their goals? Handle your responsibilities like someone who values discipline? That's how you track progress, through alignment, not just results. At first, it will feel like a stretch. That's the point. You're breaking cycles, replacing old automatic responses with intentional decisions. It takes effort and self-control, but it builds something no one can take from you. Trust in yourself. Once you trust yourself, external validation isn't needed. You become your own standard. The shift you're looking for won't appear magically. It comes from the way you act today. You can keep acting like the old version, repeating the same outcomes, or you can step into a new level, the one your potential demands. It starts with your next move. Make it count. Act like the person you want to become, because only you can create them. Chapter 7. Drop the excuses and take real steps forward. You either move forward or you stay stuck. There is no neutral ground. Life doesn't pause for you to catch up, and it doesn't wait until you feel ready. It doesn't say, take your time, decide later. Every moment that passes is either a step toward your growth or a concession to stagnation. Most people think they are stuck because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. They look around at those who seem successful and tell themselves, "I just don't have what it takes." But the truth is far simpler and harsher. What keeps most people stuck isn't a lack of ability, it's the excuses they cling to. Excuses are clever, they are persuasive, they sound logical and even reasonable. "I'm too tired, I don't have time. I'll start next week. I'm waiting for the right moment." These statements feel safe because they shield you from failure. They protect your ego from the discomfort of trying and possibly failing. But here's the reality. Excuses are nothing more than delays dressed up as reasons. They provide temporary comfort while quietly stealing your future. Every excuse you make chips away at your potential. Every time you tell yourself you'll start later, you are surrendering a fragment of control over your life. Excuses create a false sense of justification. You can endlessly explain why you haven't started, why things are hard, why your situation isn't ideal. You can paint a convincing story for yourself and for anyone willing to listen. But explanations don't produce results. Plans don't produce results. Motivation alone doesn't produce results. Only action produces results. And until you stop letting excuses dominate your thinking, you will continue to live below your potential. Every excuse is a small betrayal of yourself. Every excuse is a choice to give responsibility to something outside of you. "I didn't have time" transfers your power to a clock. "I'm too tired" surrenders control to your body's fleeting comfort. "I'll do it next week" hands your future to a moment that may never come. Excuses do not build strength. They cultivate passivity. They make you reactive, not proactive. They teach you to wait for life to happen instead of making it happen. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break free from the chains of your own rationalizations. If you want real change, the excuses have to end. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when circumstances are easier, right now. Excuses serve as a shield. They protect your pride. They hide you from potential failure. But they also lock you in a version of yourself that never grows. They keep you small while you claim you're aiming high. The fear of trying is worse than the fear of failing because regret lasts longer than fear ever could. Failing is temporary. Regret lingers, festers, and grows into self-doubt. If you want to avoid that lifelong wait, you must start acting despite the fear, the tiredness, the uncertainty. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. Waiting for the right time is a trap. The house won't magically be quiet. Your schedule won't suddenly open up. Motivation won't always arrive on time. Life will never be fully convenient, and waiting for it to be is a form of procrastination, dressed as prudence. What you need is to act now. Take one step forward. Improve one small aspect of your life. Make one strong decision and follow through. Momentum is not born from overthinking, nor from planning endlessly. It is born from movement. The first step, however small or awkward, sets the foundation for all the steps that follow. People will always find reasons not to start. Some will claim they are not ready. Others will insist they need more resources. Still others will argue that they deserve a perfect plan before taking action. But successful people, those who consistently achieve their goals, do not wait for conditions to be perfect. They act anyway. They move despite discomfort. They take imperfect action and refine along the way. Even if the action feels awkward or incomplete, it creates a shift. The moment you move, your mindset shifts. You stop focusing on what's missing and begin seeing what is possible. It's time to be brutally honest with yourself. Ask yourself, What excuses do I keep repeating? What story am I hiding behind? What patterns have I normalized that keep me stuck? And then, more importantly, get clear on what actually needs to be done. Not what is easy, not what is comfortable, not what will let you procrastinate a little longer. What needs to be done, and do it. Stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for validation. You don't need anyone else's approval. You need to move. Stop promising yourself you'll try later. Start proving you are serious now. Every moment you cling to excuses, they grow heavier. They accumulate, shaping your identity. Over time, they feel less like excuses and more like truths. You start believing that you cannot do what you are capable of. But the limitation is not in your potential. It is in your actions or lack thereof. Your potential has always been yours. What changes is your willingness to step into it. Excuses are the walls you build to protect yourself from your own power. Your actions reveal your priorities. If what you do does not match what you say you want, something is off. Progress always comes at a price. The price of giving up comfort. The price of stepping into discomfort. The price of letting go of excuses. Decide today. No more "I didn't have time." No more "I wasn't in the mood." No more "I'll do it later." Those phrases are silent killers of potential. They steal hours, days, weeks, and eventually years. Every time you give them a pass, you are agreeing to a smaller version of yourself. Be the person who moves forward anyway. Be the person who does not wait for perfect conditions. Many people confuse being busy with being effective. They fill their days with low-impact activity to feel productive while avoiding the difficult task that could change their lives. True growth is rarely comfortable. It hides behind the work you resist. It lives in the challenges you avoid. To grow, you must face discomfort. Tackle the tasks that intimidate you. Do the things that test your resolve. Use them as fuel. Stop protecting the version of yourself that avoids growth. Nothing changes until you act. Your life is not waiting for the perfect day. It is waiting for your decision. It is waiting for you to move, to commit, to act. Change begins with a single choice. One step forward, even if small. One action, even if imperfect. One day at a time, repeated with discipline, will transform your path. Success is rarely dramatic. It is cumulative. It is built from hundreds, thousands of small, consistent decisions that say, "I will act, I will move, I will grow." Momentum is built on movement, not on planning. You can plan endlessly, list every step in detail, even visualize your success in vivid clarity. But until you take the first step, it is meaningless. One decision to start is worth more than 10 weeks of preparation. One small act of courage today sets the precedent for tomorrow's actions. Movement creates confidence. It ignites motivation. It teaches your mind, body, and spirit that action is possible and, more importantly, necessary. Ask yourself, which pattern am I repeating that keeps me stuck? Which routine am I avoiding because it feels hard? Which conversations, tasks, or responsibilities have I postponed under the guise of reason? Every one of these is an excuse. Every one is a moment where you have deferred your potential. And every moment you act despite fear, laziness, or discomfort, you reclaim control over your life. You are no longer a passive participant. You are the driver. Excuses are seductive because they promise safety. But in truth, they are chains. Every time you justify an action, you tether yourself to stagnation. The longer you cling to them, the heavier they become. Soon they are no longer conscious choices, they are habits. Soon they define who you think you are. And if you allow it, they will convince you that you cannot. Do what you are capable of. This is why action, even imperfect action, is so critical. It breaks the cycle. It reclaims power. It teaches your mind that discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts forever. Your words alone are not enough. Saying, "I want to improve" without action is a lie. Talking about potential without doing the work is self-deception. Only action validates intent. Only action proves commitment. Only action changes outcomes. Progress comes from doing, not dreaming. Every habit you develop, every task you complete, every step you take is a tangible vote for the life you want. Start with one simple step. Pick one task, one decision, one area of your life where you can act today. Start small if necessary, but start. Build momentum. Allow that initial action to teach you that you are capable, and then take the next step, and the next. Momentum compounds. One decision becomes 2. 2 becomes 10. 10 becomes a habit. And a habit repeated daily becomes your new standard. Commit to honesty. Examine where your excuses hide. Examine the reasons you give yourself for staying stuck. Examine the patterns you have normalized. Write them down. Say them aloud. Make them undeniable. Once you see them, you can dismantle them. You cannot fight what you cannot see. But once you see, you gain control. And control is power. You cannot wait for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Sometimes you will feel motivated. Often you will not. Waiting for motivation is waiting for permission to succeed. Discipline is what moves you when motivation disappears. Discipline is doing what must be done when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the antidote to excuses. Discipline is the force that turns potential into reality. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is simple. Action happens anyway. The successful do what must be done, even if it is uncomfortable, even if it is imperfect, even if it requires pushing beyond their current capacity. They do not wait for conditions to be perfect. They act in spite of fear, hesitation, and distraction. They move forward while the rest of the world hesitates. Your actions define your identity. If your actions are small, inconsistent, or delayed, you are telling yourself that your goals do not matter. If you repeatedly choose excuses, you reinforce the belief that you cannot change. But the moment you act, you send a different message to yourself and to the world. I am committed. I am capable. I am taking responsibility for my life. That is empowerment. That is growth. That is progress. True progress rarely comes from comfort. It comes from doing the things others avoid. It comes from tackling what feels hard. It comes from facing fear head-on, using frustration as fuel, and refusing to protect the smaller version of yourself that prefers safety. Growth is forged in the moments when you choose action over excuses, discipline over delay, courage over comfort. Decide today that excuses no longer define you. Decide today that you will act, no matter how imperfect the conditions. Decide today that your actions will reflect your highest priorities, not your momentary whims. Your life is not waiting for perfection. It is waiting for your decision. Start now. Take action. Commit. One choice, one step, one day at a time. No excuses. Chapter 8. Use your time better instead of wasting it. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Unlike money, it cannot be earned back. Once a minute passes, it's gone forever. You can miss opportunities, lose money, or fail, but time waits for no one. How you spend it says everything about how serious you are about your life. Oh, you can't talk about goals while wasting hours on things that don't matter. You can't claim you want change while giving your time to distractions. Life is the sum of your hours. Most people don't run out of time. They waste it in small, invisible ways. 10 minutes scrolling through nothing, 30 minutes avoiding hard work, hours slipping by unnoticed. If you're honest, you already know where you're wasting time. You know the habits, the distractions, the people, the thoughts that pull you away from what matters. The solution isn't complicated, it's discipline. Start with structure. Give your day shape. Decide which hours are for your goals, your growth, your responsibilities, and then protect them. Don't drift through your day hoping you'll get to everything. That leads to frustration. Take charge. Break your day into intentional blocks. Know what you're doing and why. Clarity cuts waste. The first hour of your day is powerful. Use it for focus, not distraction. The last hour sets you up for tomorrow. Use it to reset, reflect, and prepare. Use your time intentionally, and you'll feel in control. Waste it, and you'll always feel behind. This isn't about perfection. It's about being slightly better every day. 10 minutes of focused effort each day builds momentum. 10 wasted minutes snowball into hours lost. Start small, improve one part of your day, get consistent, then expand. Stop pretending your time is unlimited. Every hour wasted is an hour you could have used to grow, to improve, to build momentum. Protect your time fiercely. Say no to distractions. Say no to requests that steal your focus. Say yes to what matters most. Intentional rest is not wasted time. Recovery is necessary. But avoidance is disguised as rest, and that delays your progress. Learn the difference. Make your time serve you, even your downtime. Time doesn't pause. Distractions don't wait. Life moves forward whether you're ready or not. Winners aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who learn to manage their hours, to show up on purpose, to protect their focus. They work smarter, not just longer. They turn their hours into results. This is your next level. Better use of time, not more effort. Protect your hours. Focus on what matters. Cut out the rest. Once time is gone, it's gone. You can't buy it back. You can't rewind it. Every day is a chance to build momentum. Use it. Make it count. Don't wait for next week. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for ideal conditions. Start now. Use your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Chapter 9. Be honest about what's holding you back. Change doesn't start with more effort. It starts with more honesty. If you truly want to grow, you must face what's holding you back, not later. Not when it's convenient, but right now. Most people say they want to improve, but they avoid the hard truth. They stay busy, stay distracted, blame outside pressure, or search for new plans. None of it works if you're not willing to admit what's really in the way. You can't build a better life while ignoring what's quietly dragging you down. Honesty isn't about shame or self-criticism. It's about seeing reality so you can act on it. Maybe you've been hiding behind comfort. Maybe you've chosen the easy path instead of the necessary one. Maybe you've lied to yourself about how consistent you really are. That kind of truth can sting, but it's where real change begins. You already know what's slowing you down. You feel it in your results. You see it in your repeated excuses. And the longer you avoid that truth, the longer you'll circle the same problems. You can't move forward while dragging around the same patterns. You can't break through if you refuse to admit what you've been protecting. Sometimes it's pride, sometimes fear, sometimes a lack of discipline. Whatever it is, it's yours to face. The strongest people aren't those with everything figured out. They're the ones willing to face what's broken. They don't shy away from the truth. They sit with it, learn from it, and let it guide their next move. Self-honesty is the foundation of personal growth. It's easy to blame jobs, schedules, family, or past circumstances, but real accountability starts with asking, what part of this is mine? Which choices have I made that I keep pretending don't matter? Which habits quietly waste my potential? You don't need all the answers. You just need to stop hiding from the questions. Maybe you've gotten used to distraction. Maybe you've been telling yourself you're trying, but deep down, you know you're avoiding the hard work. That's human. It's normal. But it doesn't mean you stay stuck. It means you finally decide to do something different. Being honest means admitting that not everything you're doing works. It means recognizing which routines, relationships, or beliefs no longer serve you. Growth means outgrowing excuses, patterns, and the version of yourself that plays it safe. It takes courage to look at yourself without filters. Denial is easy. Truth is uncomfortable. But nothing changes in avoidance. Stop waiting for someone else to call it out for you. Ask yourself right now, what have I been pretending not to see? Where am I not giving my best effort? What am I still blaming that I need to take responsibility for? Answer these questions honestly, and you're already ahead of most people. Honesty gives you clarity. Clarity shows you where to act. Once you face what's real, progress happens faster than you imagined. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending. Stop blaming. Face it, name it, deal with it, and start building your life on truth, not excuses. Brick by brick, truth by truth, action by action. That's how you reclaim your life. That's how you become your best self. And it starts with honesty, not later, right now. Chapter 10. Prove through action. The change starts with you. Change doesn't begin when you talk about it. It doesn't start when you plan it. It doesn't even start when you believe in it. Change begins when you take action. Not once. Not when you feel inspired. Every single time you choose discipline over delay, progress over comfort, effort over excuses, you prove that change starts with you. If you want your life to look different, act like it matters. Stop waiting for external forces to shift. Stop waiting for someone else to push. Become the person who shifts everything from within. You've read, you've listened, you've reflected. Now it's time to show it. Not with words, but with habits. Not with plans, but with consistent action. Stop blaming your past. Stop blaming your environment. Stop waiting for a better background or a perfect day. You don't need more time. You need better use of the time you already have. You don't need anyone else to fix your life. You need to take ownership. Action is evidence. Without it, everything else is noise. Words, dreams, intentions, they mean nothing until you move. The people who truly change aren't the ones with perfect plans. They're the ones who act, who take responsibility, who start now. They create momentum through consistent behavior. They lead themselves when no one else is pushing. That's the difference between those who stay the same and those who transform. It's not luck. It's not resources. It's what you do when no one is watching. It's the choices you make when the only accountability is your own word. You don't prove change by talking about someday. You prove it through action. Getting up earlier than planned, completing tasks when it's tempting to quit, choosing what's right over what's easy. You prove it by showing yourself that your standards are no longer negotiable. When your actions align with your values, identity forms. Purpose grows. Motivation becomes less relevant because progress becomes inevitable. Change doesn't need permission. It needs a plan and the courage to follow through. This means treating your time like it matters, focusing ruthlessly on priorities, eliminating distractions, following through even when no one notices, choosing progress even when it's uncomfortable. You will have setbacks. You will miss a day. You will fall short. That is not failure. It is feedback. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. The goal is never quitting, even when results are invisible. Strength is built in quiet, disciplined days. The difference between you now and the version of you that has everything you want is not ability, it's behavior. And behavior can change starting today. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need a full plan. You only need to act in alignment with the person you want to become. Every decision is a vote for the future you. Every action either reinforces the old you or builds the new. Every time you choose the hard but necessary path, your confidence grows. You stop needing external pressure. You stop living on potential. You start producing results. You don't change your life in theory, you change it in practice. Through habits, routines, mindset, and the effort you give when no one would blame you for quitting. That is real power. Disciplined, consistent, honest. Stop pretending. Start proving. Stop waiting. Start building. Stop blaming. Start owning. Change belongs to those who act. It belongs to those who commit. It belongs to those who lead themselves every single day. You are the only one who can lead this shift. The moment you decide this, everything changes. Don't say you're serious, show it. Don't wait for momentum, create it. Don't hope for progress, earn it. Every day, decide that you are the one who sets the tone, that you are the one who leads the direction, that your actions prove that change lives in motion, and that motion starts with you.